So this is just a follow up on the last video. Dan just wanted to kind of go over some stuff on the deck list and go into further details. So I'll let you take it away now, Dan.
Cool. So if you've seen the last video, I very briefly explained a lot of the cards and interactions in the deck. But I felt like I left quite a lot of stuff out, especially after reading the comments. Okay. So just going over the list, as you can see here, a lot of the comments referring to there only being 6 of the new Lair Darkness cards and triple Arima and triple Lair of Darkness. So a lot of people were wondering about Lilith or Diablos as tech cards in the main deck. So the thing about this deck was it was built to go blind second. So Void Feast is only sort of something to just keep you going until you get your imagination. And I know Lilith does increase you seeing Void Feast, but there's a couple of problems with it. First of all, it uses up your normal summon, which is really valuable in the deck because Arima can search dark monsters as well as drawing you cards, as well as Decatron being just pretty much an out to any card in the game, because it can pop monsters, spells, negate monsters and spells, banish things. Really strong card. So a lot of times when you open Lilith and like Decatrons and Arinas, you just can't play all of them at once, which means the cards are essentially dead in hand. Yeah. So as well as that, when you summon Lilith and tribute her, that's a Void Feast. Nice music there, buddy. When she sets a Void Feast, there's no guarantee you'll have a second Void card in hand. As well as that, she drops off a lot in power when you go second. I know, like
the trap, so you're basically just go prepared then. So
yeah, exactly right. And then so then when Lilith played second, obviously she's not strong. And then the other card, Diablos, which a lot of people point out is a really strong tech against the True Draco. The card is essentially a brick in hand. Unless you open a specific card, like I think it's just the Rima or Monster Gate along with Lair are the only 2 cards that can proc that turn 1 in your hand or the turn you have it. In terms of power, it's kind of nice in the True Draco, but if you have a masterpiece with a diagram, it still beats over it. Yeah, and then next turn you have to freeze something again to turn it back. Especially against True Draco, which is your hardest matchup. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it still loses to all the skill drain type cards.
Yeah, for real. Like it's outed by Erupt, skill drain, everything. So then onto the deck list as well. There's 6 hand traps in the main deck. Maybe revising the hand traps. I got a couple of suggestions. Maybe replacing the Ghost Dogs with Typhoons, which is strong. Yeah, because it kind of does the same thing, but it's strong into like Draco as well, especially when this one a Mana Watto.
Yeah.
But I think you might be able to change this deck around to go first, but I feel like it would have a much lower power ceiling because a lot of your problem cards like Lair and Imagination just get dealt with when they're on the field.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the final tech card in the main, which I probably would definitely change, is Monster Reborn.
Okay. Yeah.
So in testing before the event, it was 1-for-1 for the longest time, but what I realized is a lot of times you open Decatron or like one of your Infernoids like Deviati or Anunku, when you're using 1-for-1, there's a couple of problems. The first is that it can dash really easily, which means I know people say that you just discard your Infernoids to fuel your grave, but that's not always the case because having Infernoids on hand is nicer than in the grave because you can discard them for Void Banishment and other cards. So the 1-for-1, as well as that, it would summon a Decatron from your deck and then send like one of your big Infernoids, which also really depletes your resources for Imagination and Feast, which you really need to resolve. Like pretty much, like I mean, a couple of turns you can just summon an Infernoid with Lair on board and stumble along to the next turn, because they usually can't kill you through that Infernoid and the Lair. Or maybe they can't pop both through distributing one of their monsters, like their boss monsters, especially in the battle phase. They essentially have to use 2 monsters to get over your 1 Harmodic or your 1 Petrulia. Yeah, which is obviously amazing value, as well as that the Harmodic and Petrulia goes on to be value in the grave for the following turn. But like a step of that, like a stronger play is to summon one of your Sightsemisses, because Sightsemis is clearing 2 cards every turn, 1 on your opponent's, 1 on yours. Actually 3, because one tribute on your turn, 1 tribute on their turn, and then in the battle phase, it's banishing a card. So when, obviously, if you watched the last video, I said the goal of the deck is to just slow the game down to a point where you can just grind out with your Infernoids or use Imagination or Feast to win the game on the spot. And Sightsmith is probably the strongest one for that. for what I just said. As well as that, a couple of questions were why didn't I run a Tondel, like the 2800 that attacks over two things. A couple of reasons. The first is that he's not a massive improvement over Seismos in terms of attack. There's nothing really in the format that's 27 or 28 that he can beat over. The second thing is his effect to activate requires him to send a monster to the grave. So it's completely useless against the pendulum. Because they for the extra deck.
They won't go,
Yeah.
What's his attack? 27?
He's 28 attack. Yeah.
Yeah, like it can hit over like a Naruto or
yeah, but nobody plays Naruto though. Naruto's a bad card.
Maybe Electromite, but that's about it. Yeah. Another thing I kept seeing people say was about Monstergate.
Yeah, the Monstergate.
It kind of tied into reasoning as well, where they were like people were complaining about there was too many targets for the Monstergate in reasoning, but and like you'd hit a hand trap. But I'm pretty sure that that's kind of fixed now with link mechanics. Like it doesn't actually matter what you hit, as long as you're milling Infernoids.
Yeah, I mean that is true.
It's quite similar to like in 60 card. It's like charge, you add a Raiden, which you don't really want, but it's the fact that you mill cards, and then basically you're getting a free resource out of it. So like as long as and Monster Geek also has an application of being able to tribute your opponent's monsters with Lair. So like I think it's almost too much of a win more card that you can't afford not to play it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, the whole tribute monster like of your opponent is super strong. Like it's just laying an instant tribute. But I mean, there's what's that like? There's about 15 cards in your deck that can be normal special summoned.
You only want to hit 6 of them, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there's what's that? Like not even 10 Infernoids that you have a chance to mill. And as well as that, you're milling all of your like power spells and traps, which is really bad. I think that's why the reasoning is just doesn't really make the cut because it doesn't have that additional tribute effect.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and Monster Gate gives you that certainty as well.
Yeah.
Like, if you hit a draw, you can just still link with it to make underclock in worst case scenario kind of thing.
Yeah, that is true. Or a better one is before you resolve imagination, you can make into, or after you make Deco Talker instead of Doodle Chimera.
Yeah.
Because that swings for an extra bit of damage. I'm pretty sure, like through 400 damage, which is just game. So that's pretty much the main deck. Looking at the side deck, there's a couple of questions here as well. The first one was Gamma Shield Sea Turtle Kaiju. I'm not sure Kaijus were the right choice in the deck, but if you do want to play them, it was pointed out that Arima, which is the new Lair Darkness card, if it tributes a monster other than itself, it can actually search the Dark Kaiju Radiant instead of drawing it. Yeah, which is really, really strong. I mean, like searching a Kaiju once a turn obviously is crazy, especially if you're tributing an opponent's monster. So that's really good. The second card, Ghost Reaper. I think if Draco wasn't the best deck, or if Draco got banned the list, I'd probably main the Reapers.
Okay.
Yeah, I maybe for the ogres, I'd probably switch out the ogres for the Reapers. Because if you're playing against Pendulum, especially going second, it just wins the game of the spot. Like they only ever set up a board with like a 1 negate, like a vortex or nothing, and this deck can very easily play through 1 negate. Usually 2 negates, but sometimes you open triple imagination and Decatron and put it through 4 negates. You know, it's possible, like, but really, really tough. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, no, I was also just wondering, would you consider the card like Econ for Pendulum, where you can it's essentially just getting rid of a card, but like you can take an Electromite and maybe link up with it?
So I tested out Econ for a while, but the problem was when they're making their boards, like they usually end up something like a Vortex and like 38 Hope Harbinger, as well as like the Zephyr Metaltron. But whenever you activate Lair, they just fucking have it negated with 38 out of the blob. Out of the spot, because you can just drop Monster Gate from hand and tribute away their Vortex, you know, and then just drop a Decatron and pop their 38, and then all of a sudden their board's gone. And usually they have like no cards in the hands left to play through afterwards. So I didn't like Econ especially.
I think you're kind of building a deck to over rely on the Lair Darkness.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I'd bring it up, yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like just summoning Sights on us with a Lair on board is definitely stronger than Econ.
Yeah.
As well as that, Econ does nothing really in like a lot of other matches. Like against Draco, they usually only ever have 1 monster on board. So you can't even use Econ against Pendulum. Obviously, sometimes it can be good going second if they don't negate Lair. But against things like 60 card, like you're attributing something like a Curious or a Minerva, like it isn't really something you need to be too worried about.
Yeah.
And
you can tribute in that beast.
I mean, yeah, that is true. But the Nat piece will negate Lair on the spot anyway, so you can't tribute it.
Yeah, actually, sorry.
Yeah, you're just thinking about it. Yeah. Other cards, Call by the Grave. You see the two best decks, Pendulum and Draco, aren't really playing hand traps game one. So you're sort of safe. I mean, game two, they expect to go first anyway, when you like go second. So if they lose, they're going to go first, but if you lose, you're going to go second. So Call wasn't exactly like super useful against those decks, and this deck sort of beats everything else anyway. So there's only specific situations when you want to go first and you have to play Call by the Grave. So I only played two, but maybe you can bump to three if the format changes. You know, it depends on the hand trap ratios and things.
Yeah, of course.
Next card was Shared Ride. That was, I think in theory, this card's really good, like really, really good. Because you're either stopping your turn with one or two draws, no draws, or like 8 draws. And then I'm pretty sure you can break almost any board if you have like 2 Layers of Darkness with a couple of tributes. So like if they use the first one, they negate it. Use the second one, they can negate it. Like, or maybe you have an Arima as well, or you just keep searching.
Yeah, and you can always just throw Infernoids as well, you know.
Yeah, you can always just fucking throw it to the wall, and then like they'll just keep going to grave and something back.
Yeah.
And the last two cards, Twins and D Barriers. Twins, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they do enough for the deck, but I think they're necessary for things like Iron Wall against Draco, because Draco definitely will side Iron Wall against you, because everyone's siding it right now. I mean, yeah, sure, if you have Decatron, you can out it, but I wouldn't. I think it is necessary. So this is back to the like Typhoon instead of Ogre. Typhoon also outs Iron Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last two cards were just debarriers. Going first against Pendulum, I typically just went second all the time and just kind of won. So
yeah,
I probably might drop those. I have to see, because you want your imaginations to be resolving, so you kind of need to go second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably make them evenlies and drop something else.
Yeah, could do for sure. Then extra, a lot of Cherry's target, plus for Cherry's target. Entis you need it for the imagination combo. Tierra obviously for imagination. Beals just something good to summon his Draco. Sometimes Pendulum as well. If you're really low on resources and you have is like a Decatron and a Harmadic, you can make this, or vice versa. Omega, I don't think I played it on the day. Omega just doesn't really do enough for the deck anymore. It just because you're using your normal summon and an Inferno from hand, and what you're getting is 3 Infernoids engraved at the end, and then 1 card from his opponent's hand. But I'd almost much rather have the monster or spell negate with a Decatron. So it's not really useful.
It can be handy when you hit the hand trap off.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point they probably already used it, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people ogre Decatron and summon.
That was something I was wondering as well, just on your synchro lineup. As you often have to play Dark Fighter. Just with the
Yeah, I thought I'd think it was actually in there for a while. But there's a couple of problems. The first, for again, like synchros are really costly to make in the deck, like really, really expensive.
Yeah.
And you need to
I was
open
just thinking with Monster Gate.
with
7
Monster
seems kinda.
Yeah.
Being able to hit a hand trap, and then hand trap plus a read move.
Yeah, I mean potentially, but also I mean Dark Fighter is like a once per turn tribute, where you need to use Decatron for, right? But Decatron itself is a once per turn tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you just send Sightsumus, you contribute on the player's turn, or if you send like one of the little guys, it's just their turn. So I didn't feel like it was necessary. Dante's a mistake. He just shouldn't have been there. The Guska. I mean, again, it's a kind of a if you're losing, make this and hope for the best kind of card. But it's definitely droppable. I feel like I did make it once in testing.
No, is there anything you'd suggest?
Instead of Baguska, possibly, maybe some more like monsters like Borreload could be good. I think there's times when you feast, and they just can't clear anything because you're attributing their monsters, and then the next turn you just summon a hand trap and make Borreload.
Okay, actually, wait. This list is Did you not play Barload for the event, no?
I did, yeah, for the event. But I think this could be like a deck list that's one card different or something.
Oh, okay.
Thinking back, yeah.
I think is it the Clara Ruska, I think.
No, I think it might have been the Omega was her board load.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know I didn't play Omega today.
No, and then sorry for the links.
Yeah, so the links we just standard lineup. Decode Doolittle. You need it for the OTK combo. I'll show you in a minute. It's just 2 fire monsters to clear off Infernoids to clear up the levels on the board. Electromites for Reaper. Mastering Archfiend is it's the Doolittle Chimera when you have the Lair of Darkness on board, because Lair makes all your monsters dark type, so you can't link into Doolittle Chimera.
Yeah, and you need a link with 2.
Yeah, that has like a bit of attack. And I know Mastering Archfiend with Saitama Sononku leaves your opponent at 400 life points, so you need like a little bit more if you have Lair of Darkness on board.
Yeah.
Then Underclock, I think, is just a sort of situation when you have a hand trap and an Infernoid, you need to clear something.
Yeah.
And then just board load. Clarinushka is for when you have a Decatron on board that's like a high level, but you need to put more locks up for next turn, you just link it off and then make the rest of the boards. Okay. Yeah. So I guess we'll show you some combos.
Yeah, no, let's get into it. Cool. I'm hosting there.
Awesome. Cool. So let me go first.
All right. So what do you want to kind of go over first? I'll go paper.
Cool.
So you go first?
Yeah, it's going to be first. I'll just show the combos.
Okay, so what is the first combo you want to show?
So the first and main combo you win is Void Imagination. So that's this card right here. It's searchable off of Void Banishment. And the effect reads, so you fuse a Fusion Summon an Infernoid monster from the extra deck, using monsters you control in your hand as materials. But if your opponent controls a monster that was summoned from the extra deck instead, you can send up to 6 Infernoids from your deck as well.
Okay, yeah.
So the monster you're summoning is Inferno Tiara, which requires Ununku, Deviati, and any more Inferno monsters. And so how Tiara works is for every number of materials it uses, it gets an effect. So for 3 or more, each player sends 3 cards from extra grave. 5 or more, each player mills 3. 8 or more, each player returns 3 banished cards to the grave. Or 10 or more, each player sends the entire hand to the graveyard. Now, in practice, you're never resolving 3 or 5. Occasionally 8. If you already used 2, like an Ununku, and you have to summon a second one to fuse with.
Yeah.
But the 3 and 5 effect is very, very strong. So how you? Yeah, the 5 one is well, the 3 will be stronger because you're pretty much nuking the field when you resolve it.
Yeah.
And then the 5 one is nice because like sometimes you know more Infernoids or whatever. So if you controlled an extra monster, you say right here.
Give me Dante.
Yeah, he's completely bugged.
Okay. I'll summon my one.
Oh, you got change control. Right, there's your Dante. So how it works is you mill 6 Infernoids.
No, I'll summon my extra guy. Yeah,
sure. So you usually send Deviati and Unku. Double Sights must have in your deck, but I have one in my hand. One of the little guys. And then because I have the second Sights, I'll just send an extra hammer deck.
Yeah.
Summons Tiara. This goes to grave. So now how Tiara would work is it sends 3 Elder Entity Entis to the graveyard.
Yeah. So like if I have some set cards.
Yeah. And then it would mill 3. And both players would do that. So then after that chain, Triple Entis would activate, popping all 3 cards, or targeting all 3, which would generally pop all 3.
Yeah. Well, so, you don't need a player inside that road.
Yeah, he just fucking wrecks you. So then this is where the combo would end usually, right? But before you activate Imagination, you want to do something like summon a second monster, like summon your Rima, or summon your Decatron or your hand trap. So then you link both monsters away. If my DB wants to stop lagging. So because Arima's a fiend, you have to summon Mastering Archfiend, or if you have a Decatron, you summon Doolittle Chimera. And then right here, to just push for the damage, you have to banish 2 Infernoids for Seismus?
Yep.
The game wants to stop lagging. Cool. And then you want to banish 3 for the Nunku just to finish the game off.
Yeah. And how much?
So usually I'd end up banishing the second Seismus because you don't need one.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a problem. If you don't have Dual Chimera, this is only 76 on board right here. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe it's better. Well, even if say you still have a once per turn spell negate, a tribute, as well as your Lair Darkness, so you can tribute or something else. So even if this is an OTK, this is still a really, really strong board. And then next turn you summon back more Infernoids and push for damage or for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But and there, if this is Dual Chimera, this is 84, I'm pretty sure. So
or anything, this works as well. So.
Yeah, so Astra Decatron.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much the standard bread and butter combo. The other one would be with Void Feast.
Okay, yeah.
So so say if you opened something along the lines of a Void Banishment and your Void Feast. Let's reset the game.
Yeah, I'm just putting this thing off. But it won't let me. Yeah.
Cool. So you already have the one Void Feast. This will be more so going first. So you want to activate your Vanishments and activate an Uncu, right? This is initially to bait out an Ash. So if your opponent has Ash Blossom, if they use it now, it means the Void Feast in hand resolves, and you'll probably win the game. But if they don't want to get with Ash, they're pretty much screwed either way. So right here, you add a second Void Feast, and you set 2 Void Feasts, and you end your turn. In the standby phase, you activate your first Void Feast, sending Banishment. If they Ash, that's fine. You just change the second Void Feast, sending the first one to grave. So the first one will be negated and the second one will resolve. But if they don't dash, they both resolve. So how that works is you summon 3 Decatrons, 1 Skjetty, and 1 Seismus from your deck, which is absolutely insane. So then the 3 Decatrons activate and you get to send any number of Infernoids, well 3. But I'd send usually like 2 Anuncus and 1 Deviati, which gives you 2 spells trap negates and 1 monster negate, or double Deviati and 1 Anuncu, depending on what you're playing against. And even even on the off chance they can somehow break this amazing board, next turn you have tons and tons of Infernoids just sitting in your graveyard waiting for you to use them.
Yeah.
And also there's no deck in the game right now that can play through 3 negates and then set up a board. So if you resolve double feast, you win the game pretty much on the spot.
Yeah, and just for people who don't know, the way that they add up to 8 is you do 2, 2, and 6. So you summon the Seismus, I think, and then
Seismus is the 7 and 1.
Yeah, and then you summon the Sajet is 6.
Yes, Shed is 6 and the 2 Decatrons.
So you go 6, 2, 2, and then 7 and 1. So like 6, 1, 1 is 8, and 7 and 1 is 8. So that's how you get the full board.
Yeah, for sure. So do you want us to play out a game just to show some of the card directions?
Yeah. No. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first, please. That's okay. Cool. This is a pretty average hand for Infernoids.
Yeah, this hand's pretty nice. Let's play this out.
Sure.
Response.
The summon's okay.
Effect?
Cost? Yeah, I'll dash that.
Cards in deck.
God. 35. Okay, that's probably a bad call. Although he's opened up the 1 of Ash. Sure, so you mill 20.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you're good.
How do you do this again? It's like
so you want to slash mill space 20.
Which?
Slash mill space 20.
Space. Nope.
It's 20 too much. It can only mill 15.
Oh.
Yeah, here we go, guys. Learning DB as well.
I'll do 10.
Yeah.
I'll do 10.
Okay. Oh my god, these mills. Oh my god. Double snow, double wolf, and fellas.
This is the really bad list. Oh no!
Look at those mills. Oh, Dotscaper, everything.
Yeah. I don't get the fellas, unfortunately.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it has to be a monster effect. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's really good mills though.
That's amazing mills. Like this ends with Nat Beast, probably double Omega, Furious, Minerva, Red.
I can't do anything super cool yet. So I need like a brain fusion or something to do. If the Iron summon, that'd be a really good position.
What do you say?
If the Iron was able to summon, I'd be in a much better position.
Yeah, I mean, this is still really good, right? Curious, Minerva at least.
I can still do something. 2, 3. What then?
You banish him for Snow, right?
I banished one extra card. This is a bad example of a game.
No, this is a pretty strong board, playing 2.
It will take a while though.
That's okay. Just don't be a knacker and make like 4 megas, please.
Sorry, something's not, sorry.
Sure. Does Skipper get banished?
No. And then when it gets banished, I get to summon them again.
Oh yeah, so just like a once per deal each.
Pretty cool. It's really bad, but he's cool.
Sure, man, that's okay.
4, 3, 4. Oh, they're all so good.
Put back the like other 3 then.
So I put back 3, isn't it?
Yeah, 3. So put back 1 there. So 1 more. Do 2 more.
Yeah. And
cool.
then
So on resolution, yeah.
Okay, cool. Effective this guy.
Sure, sorry, yeah, that's fine.
I actually had Lightsworn recharge, and I was like, player. I feel really bad.
What's your reward?
There's no hand that can play around this. Like, I actually don't really have anything. You have Ash, not Ogre. There's actually one situation I kind of wish I had Ogre. I can't reborn Phallus. Choose card.
Maybe you want to try and resolve you for Scorpio again. Oh no, wait, you want these ones to return. It was negated. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Just trying to think. I don't reborn yet.
Okay, sure.
No, I do. I don't think it matters if I do.
No. Sure, Goldenberg.
This hand is just like
Matarasu, sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a token on him for
this area, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna summon back Ogre here and then trickle down the guy.
Sure, and then summons Thousand Blades.
Yeah. I don't think anything can break this. Like.
Okay, we'll see.
No, if it gets worse, like.
Dweller does nothing like.
No, it gets worse.
Why did you make Dweller?
Wait.
Why did you make Dweller?
It's just a rank 4. Actually, wait, your deck is Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Do you want to make nappies now or something?
And then I get back in Ash and that's on my face. In your turn.
Okay, sure, man.
Yeah, I probably would have just made Tornado.
Let's see if I can play through this.
Tornado is probably better. Yeah, and then
Cool. So start turn. Standby phase.
chain.
Sure. Jab back Ash and you choose Dweller. That's fine. Min phase 1.
Yeah, I think like Dweller is just probably the best blind XYZ to make as opposed to Tornado.
So summon Harmadic.
Yeah.
And effect on that beast.
He's the tribute guy to.
No, he's just a destroy monster on the field once return.
Okay, and then the banishing effect is it's only during my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. So normal summon Decatron effect.
Yeah, it costs it.
But yeah, it sounds either way. Like.
Yeah, I guess I just ogre.
Sure. So Decatron will send one.
I don't know if I tried to ask for ogre. I think you have one in hand.
You want to change your mind?
I think I ash.
Sure. You can ash that.
Instead and ash and keep the ogre.
Sure, summon the ogre. So the Decatron still summoned.
Yeah.
So I'll use avoid imagination and like win the game on the spot, I guess.
What's that one? That's the fusion thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hand 6.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I should have asked. Wait, that's a.
So it stands for cost.
Oh wow.
It's good, right? So 3, 4.
Just as a side note, you should probably hold the ash.
Yeah, I should probably hold the ash for this.
I thought the search I was like the search card you need to discard a card, so he has to have that card.
Well, if we draw that card, so then affects a tiara.
So I mill 3, is it?
So we each send 3 from extra to grave and then mill 3.
Sure.
What did you mill?
Bad cards.
Solid mills, man. Solid mills. So then triple Emptis effect activates. So
Dweller.
oh, Dweller. Fuck, man. Forgot.
I'm summon. I'll banish 7 for snow.
Yeah, sure, man.
See, once he's locked in there, I don't know.
Well, I can definitely play out of it, like.
Yeah, I don't know how many I've banished, but.
You banished like 3, I'm pretty sure, because that's 9. So you banished 2, 7 for the last turn, so you have to banish 5 more.
Yeah. I'm not gonna think about what they are, but. How many am I at now?
So you need 2 more. So 1 more.
1 more?
Yeah, 1 more. Cool. So you want to set what?
The
Terra? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So ironically, that Dweller has kept you in the game.
Which, yeah, I know. Dweller is so good.
So go ahead. Blind Dweller.
Can you not summon an Infernoid from grave, huh?
Yeah, I could have, but I mean, you sort of want to push for one massive thing next turn, I think. Unless, can you actually come here?
You can probably summon the Heavy Storm guy, the monster Rageki guy, and kill me, you know?
Actually, yeah, dude, you're right. I could have done that.
Yeah, because you still have an extra monster zone, by the way.
Oh yeah, with Saryuya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what would have been a good play was summon this with Vanishing 3.
Yeah.
And you ogre that.
Does he blow up every card?
All monsters, yeah.
You could link your 2 guys into 2 little Chimera into my Skull Deep, and then blow up the board and then add back an Ash.
That's only by bonus card effect, right?
Which?
Do the Chimera. Oh, battle
no,
card
effect. It's when
yeah,
it's
whoa.
card effect.
Yeah, that is a really good play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just knew this because in Goki I used to or in Metal Folk Goki I used to pop Mrs. Radiant to add back my Axie.
Yeah, okay, cool. So it pops everything and you ogre the Anonku and then this adds back an Ash.
Yeah. So Like I still have like
Place,
around
yeah.
5, but then you can still like Anonkumi again.
Yeah, so then I think I just I banished 2 for Sightsumas,
Yeah.
and then keep that on board. Sorry, is gone as well.
Anonku can negate
Spell effects, yeah.
he can tribute a monster, yeah.
Yeah.
I just DC'd there, but like
Okay, yeah, you get the picture,
yeah.
right?
I'm pretty sure once you play through the snow, I kind of just lose to the ash.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So
Cool.
yeah, I opened the stones.
Still get the board broken.
Participate by making the dweller
Instead of tornado.
best play.
Yeah, good job. Well, that's pretty much how the deck works. It isn't too crazy. It's kind of linear, but it's just about getting the most value for your cards possible.
Yeah, Infernoid has always been kind of grindy.
Yeah, awesome. So we wrap it up.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Cool.
Is there anything else you want to say, like closing statements?
I think after the ban list, this deck will get very, very good. Possibly one of the best.
Yeah,
Especially if Draco and Pendulum get hit hard, because I think maybe if the ban list comes before the Brandish set, this deck will probably be very, very strong for a little bit.
Yeah, this deck looks like it could be like a potential sleeper for.
Yeah, for any Nats coming up or anything. Yeah, for sure. Cool. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
That's perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Peace out.